Hey Flosstube, it's Katie the Stash Queen coming to you on this Monday, January 1st, 2018. Happy New Year! I hope everyone had a great end to 2017. I hope that your 2018 is starting off with a bang. I'm excited to be back with you guys. This is the first of my weekly videos. Yes, I'm going back to weekly videos this upcoming year. There's just too much if I go too long without doing it. That being said, since my last video was months ago, I am not going to go through the stash that I got in those months. I am unfortunately not going to answer the questions that I had because I can't remember which ones I've answered and which ones I haven't. So if there are any questions that I haven't answered yet that you still need answered, please feel free to put them in the comments below, and next week when I come back I will be happy to answer it for you. This video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to start off talking about all of my plans and rotation and such for 2018. Then I've got stuff to show you, my projects for the upcoming week. I have a giveaway at the end for Down Sunshine Lane that is very overdue, and I am so sorry, but I really appreciate patience with getting that done. But you have to watch to the end of the video to get all those details. So, there's gonna be a lot of talking here at first before I do any sort of showing, so just warning you now. Okay, so my plans and rotation information for 2018. First off, annual sales. There are it's starting last year. There are just a gazillion stitch-alongs, annual stitch-alongs that are out there anymore. It used to be like 2 or 3, and now there's just, every designer seems to have one, and it's insane. So, yes, I got Starbucks this morning because it's cold. So I have decided that there's several sales that I like, that I am getting, that I will probably start at some point during my next year of starts. Yes, this is year 3 of the year of starts. But there are only 4 that I'm going to stay up to date on, or attempt to stay up to date on this year. One is Cross Stitcher Magazine's 2018 sale. The first piece of it came out in their January magazine. I subscribe to it on Xenios, so I don't have it to show you guys, but it's a little monthly blurb every month, and they're using a lot of the new DMC colors, which I do have, so shocker, I know. So I'm going to try to stay up to date on that one. Ingleside Imaginarium's Guardians of Notre Dame, I am so excited about, so excited. I was lucky enough, along with anyone who went to the Flosstube retreat in Austin back in October, Brittany started setting up the sal while we were there and started stitching it and started designing it and all that, and so we all got sneak peeks, and it is amazing. I'm sure the window frame is already out. That's been out for a little while now, but it's gonna be awesome. So I'm going to try to stay up to date on that one. Another Year Creeps By Stitchy Box is their Halloween sale for this year that I'm going to try to stay up to date on. And then Clouds Factory's Mythical Creatures Alphabet, or Legendary Creatures. I can't remember if it's mythical or legendary, but the alphabet of all of their creatures that they're going to do. I'm going to try to stay up to date on that one this year as well. So any of the other ones, I may start them. I'm not planning on staying up to date. I had to give myself a limit of which ones I wanted to do, and those 4 were the ones that excited me the most, so those are the 4 that I'm going to stick to date on. Okay, I am doing a year of starts again this year. I started the year of starts last year. Well, I did a full year of starts in 2016. Started it in 2017, then life kind of went crazy, and I really do think when I was looking back on my Stitchy year, not having the year of starts set up and the structure for that, I think had as much of an impact on my stitching as anything else did. I also have a Dr. Pepper because I need both caffeine drinks, because sometimes you need the colder drink, not the hotter drink, to wet your throat. Shocker. So I am doing another year of starts this year, and I'm really excited about it. Now, if you are in Stitch Mania, you are well aware we have so many stitch-alongs this year. I'm excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it. What I decided to do, in order to be able to participate in as many of the stitch-alongs as I wanted to, as well as not go too insane with my year of starts, I am incorporating the annual, or incorporating many of the Stitch Alongs and Stitch Mania into my year of starts. So every Monday, I will be doing whatever the monthly Stitch Along is in Mania, a new start based on that monthly Stitch Along. This year, or this month, of course, it's New Year, New Start, so every day is a new start. But like February, it's Foodie February, so I will be doing a new start every Monday related to food for that month to go with that Sal. This month it's just whatever, because it's New Year, New Start. Tuesday will be my tour day designers, so I will do a new start for that designer every Tuesday. Wednesday is my new start of a personal choice. We didn't have 7 Stitch Alongs that fit in with that, or Stitch Along categories, so Wednesday is free for all, whatever I want to work on. Thursday, I will be doing a new start for the Princess Stitch Along in whatever the theme is for the month. Each of those have themes of different patterns or different topic ideas. You don't have to stick to those theme ideas, clearly, but it's just guidelines, and I am choosing to use those themes to schedule my year around. Then on Friday will be a new start for the Halloween year-round Stitch Along, because Friday, spooky Halloween, you know. Then on Saturday will be my 50 Nifty United States Stitch Along new starts, and Sunday will be my Christmas year-round Stitch Along new starts. So that is the plan. You'll see that in the theme, but when I was scheduling out my year, which yes, is entirely scheduled out, it made the most sense to use those monthly or annual Stitch Alongs to incorporate and have both a new start and be in with the theme of the Stitch Along. It just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. For all of the other Mania Stitch Alongs, the one day Stitch Alongs, like the full coverage on the 5th, or any of the random holiday ones that we have going on this year, or the challenge sales like the Olympics and so on and so forth, as many of those that I can do with whips, I will be. If they happen to fall in a day where I can do a new start, then I may do a new start, or some of those challenges have a new start theme into it. But we'll see what I can do, but I'm going to use whips mainly for the rest of those Stitch Alongs. Then there's a temperature Stitch Along that we are doing this year. That's a daily thing, because I can't do it like, oh, this random day in January is this temperature, and this random day in February is this temperature. There's a pattern that I will put a link to below that Liz from Stitchy Box actually found. That's this really cute little, it's not a mandala, but it's like a little square motif that you do a little bit each day in the colors, and I am going to do 2 of those, one with a high temperature of the day and one with the low temperature of the day. And my thought is that I can put them together at the end of the year, I guess technically the beginning of next year, to make a Christmas ornament, because it's a very cute little motif design, and it'll just be an interesting way to document the year. I'm not starting that one until tomorrow, because temperatures fluctuate throughout the day. I found a website that tracks my cities, all of my cities' weather stuff, which is crazy, but they have a chart of every day of every month, and the high temperature and the low temperature, so I'm just going to use that. Start it tomorrow. 1 stitch a day. My project last year fizzled out for a lot of reasons, mainly because of my stitchy bug and just life. I love it, I'm keeping it, but I'm not continuing with it at this point. I am going to do a different sort of 1 stitch a day challenge. This past year, I started following on Instagram a bunch of people who do embroidery as opposed to cross stitch, more the free-form embroidery sort of things. And I got inspired by a lot of their pieces. So I'm going to try to do a free-form embroidery piece of sorts for my 1 stitch a day challenge this upcoming year. We'll see how it works. I'd like to try to make it related to the year. So not just random stitches, but like today I plan on doing 2018 because it's the first day. But just things that happened in my life, something of significance. We'll see how it works out. Wish me luck. Then I am also in the Jane Austen reading and stitch along group, because hello, anyone who has watched me for any length of time knows that I love Jane Austen. So that, the way that one is working is we have a book that we have 2 months to read. So January and February, the book is Sense and Sensibility. And then the idea is to stitch on Jane Austen pieces as well to go along with it. So I am participating in that, Sal. I have a piece that I will show you guys that will be my first piece for the stitch along. But I am participating in that. That's a separate group. I can put a link to it below in case any other Jane Austen fans who are not in that group already want to join in. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I love Jane Austen. It's a win-win. WIPs. I am gonna go forward with a plan that I started, or I came up with last year, but didn't really get too far in, of working on a WIP when it's on its birthday, or the day that I started it, whatever year that I started it. So there are some days where I'm gonna have multiple WIPs, like today. There are some days when I have none, because either I finished it or I didn't start something that day, whatever. So whatever the WIPs are for that day, whatever, if they have a birthday on that day, I will work on them that day. If it is a free WIP day, meaning I don't have any other WIP scheduled, I will do a random number generator and pick a WIP to work on. So that's, I talked about that a couple of videos ago, so that's the plan at this point. I do have 2 gifts that I need to stitch within the first 6 months of 2018. One for a wedding, one for a birth. So I have the wedding one started barely. The birth one is going to be started up this week. My goal is to try to work on them a little bit each day, so that I can get them done, so I don't have to rush at the end to push them out to get them finished. So then Liz from Stitcher Box and Kate, the Queen of Starts, twisted my arm, which, you know, Kate does that a lot. So does Liz, but that's okay. To join them in 100 finishes in 2018. I have 450 projects in the go right now. I'm starting another year of starts, which will be more than 365 starts for various reasons. I'd like some finishes. So what I am doing, do I think I'm doing it? I do think I'm going to be able to do it now, and I'll tell you why in a second. But what I'm going to do is every week I will pick 5 pieces that I'm close to finishing, and I will work on the first piece on that list until it is done, then move to the second. And once that second one's done, move to the third, so on and so forth. I will show you guys 5 pieces each week. And when I finish them, I'll take whatever the next one is that I think I'm close to being done on and add it to the end. So I figured that'll be a good way to start getting some finishes out of the way. A lot of them are going to be smalls, but that's okay. So if by some miracle I finish more than 5 in a week, I'll just pick whatever's next and I'll show you guys in the next video. No big deal. I forgot to mention this when I was talking about year of starts. I'm not doing monthly preview videos this year, just because I have all of the pieces planned out for the year, but I haven't had time to sit down and do all of the kitting up yet for January, let alone future months. So I will be doing that as I get ready for the videos each week. So there's not going to be the monthly preview videos this year. Okay, next we have Stitch from Stash. I know, Stash Queen, stitching from stash seems crazy, right? But I'm going to take the challenge this year, not because I have to, but because when I was getting ready for the year of starts this year, I've got so many things. Am I still collecting stash? Absolutely. I still have all of my memberships that don't count against from Stitch from Stash. I'm not going completely on a no spend spree. But I'm going to see what I can do this year. I like the idea of the challenge. I like the idea of rewarding myself for finishes. That's also a motivating factor for the 100-year finishes. I am giving myself a budget of each month of $25. My intention right now, we'll see how it goes at the end of this month, is not to keep adding $25 each month. So like if I don't spend my $25, I don't plan on having $50 to start in February. I'm going to try to just keep it that I have $25 as a baseline each month. The only thing that I will roll over is the money I earn from finishes. So say, by some miracle, say just for a random example, I have $10 worth of finishes this month and I don't spend it, I will roll that over into February. But I will not roll over anything from my $25 baseline budget over into February. Make sense? Maybe. Does in my head, but that's the idea. So we'll see. I'll give general updates at least monthly here on Flosstube on how I did from Stitch from Stash. Just probably around the time that I'm getting ready to do my monthly update in the group. We'll see how it goes. And then the last thing is something that gets just kind of popped up in the last couple of days. Nick Hyde in Stitch Mania, hi Nick, posted about how she had started this past year wanting to spread a little bit of love, and how it's been a rough year in 2017. It could be for personal reasons, it could be for national reasons, it could be political reasons, it could be whatever. I think it's safe to say that 2017 was a rough year. And we could all use spreading a little love in the world. So what she had started doing was stitching up little hearts on plastic canvas and cutting them out and leaving them in random places, kind of like the painted rocks movement that a lot of communities have. I have always loved the painted rocks movement. I haven't found any yet, but I love the idea of it. I'm not a painter. So when she posted about how she was doing this and some of her examples, I fell in love with the idea. And I asked her permission to form a group that is called Heart Drops, because that is what she called the little hearts that they're dropping them off, that I will put a link to below. It's basically just a group of all of us coming together to help spread a little more love in the world. We make hearts on plastic canvas, we cut them out, we send them where we want to send them, drop them off. I'm going to later today or tomorrow create a finders page, because a lot of people in the group are going to put information to go, if you found me, go here to kind of check in. Some people aren't, that's fine too. But it's a really good idea that I think we can all, one, you can use up extra flosses and stuff. Like, I'm using some floss that I got because it was pretty, but I know a lot of people in the group are using leftover flosses from kits, things that you don't want to throw away, but you don't really have any other use for. Use it for this. So if you are interested in joining, there is a link to the group in Stitch Mania. If you are a Stitch Mania member, you just have to answer the one question that pops up in the group, and then it'll automatically approve you, because since I'm the admin of both, I can make that work, and that's awesome. And then if you aren't in Stitch Mania, the link to the group will be below. You feel free to join in. Feel free to put a comment of how you heard about Heart Drops, and I will make sure to let you in. So, how's that all sound for 2018? There's a lot of plans. But I missed stitching this year. I did not like everything getting so wonky this year. Stitching is my sanity. It is my stress relief. It is my therapy. It is, it's important to me. So I want to get back to what I love and making sure I get it to the point that, or the way that I like to do it. So there you go. All right, weekly plans. This week, I'm not going to have any, what did I stitch on this past week? Because honestly, I haven't really stitched in December. Between Christmas and New Year's and family visiting and ending school and a couple of illness days from various members of the family and getting ready for 2018, I just haven't really stitched in about a month or so. So I'm excited about getting back to stitching today. So I'm just going to be talking with you guys about what my plans are for this upcoming week. Nothing from the past. New year, new start, fresh slate, that whole shebang. All right. Let's get started. Annual stitch-alongs, like I said, I'm only sticking to 4 this year. None of them have been started yet. I will start giving updates as they get started. I think I'm starting 3 of them this week. The Clouds Factory one doesn't start, I don't think, until the 10th is when I think the first part of it comes out. So I'm starting 3 of them this week, and then I'll give you guys weekly updates like I have in the past. Year of starts. The monthly theme for this month is New Year, New Start. So today, Monday, if you're in Stitch Mania or in the Death by Cross Stitch group, you've already seen this, but I'm going to show it anyway. I'm going to start today Death by Cross Stitch. It was sent to me as a rack in a PDF from Long Dog Samplers, so I don't have it to show you guys, but I think we're all pretty familiar with it. I'll still put a link to it below like I always have. I am going to be doing it on 32 count white Jobelan because the fabric is not the focus of the piece. My minder is dot beads from No Name Needle Minders. Does that give you a hint of what I'm doing? I'm doing this piece in beads. This is 64,000. Miyuki size 15 glass seed beads in rainbow cobalt blue. See, aren't those pretty? And I'm going to attach them with floss that I got, Handed Fabrics by Stephanie a few years ago. She contemplated doing some flosses, dyeing floss with her fabric. She never really did more than a couple of different colors, but I got them because hello. This is the Lady of the Lake, and I have 4 or 5 skeins of it, and I'm going to use this to attach the beads because the blue purple really goes well with that. So yeah, Death by Cross Stitch all in beads, and then that floss for like the back stitching part because you can't do back stitching beads. Am I insane? Of course I am. I'm going to start it today. It's going to be one of those pieces that will likely come out when I want to work on it because I love beading. I don't plan on working on it every day, but it's going to be a piece that when I feel like beading, it's going to get pulled out. It'll be fun. The second start that I am going to have today, because yes, of course, on the first I have to do 2 starts, is also an electronic pattern because like I said, I get the Cross Stitcher magazine through Zenio. I am going to start their 2018 Sal today, and I'm going to do this on 32 Belfast and Avalon from Under the Sea Fabrics. Isn't that pretty? And my minder is a crown needle minder from No Name Needle Minders. So those will be my starts today. Then on the 2nd is a Tuesday. That's a Tour Day Designers Day. And for January, Tour Day Designers is focusing on Glendon Place. So I will be starting Which Way, which is this ornament right here. That is from the Just Cross Stitch October 2014 issue. And I am going to be doing this on 28 Lugana in Butterscotch Cookies from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie that I got in a stitchy box. And the minder is a little Book of Spells needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then the 3rd is a Wednesday, so it's a personal choice day. And I'm going to start 2 on that day because I'm me. The first one is an electronic pattern. It is The Guardians of Notre Dame by Ingleside Imaginarium. And I'm going to do it on 32 Belfast and Cosmos from Under the Sea Fabrics because the rose windows always have so much beautiful color and light that come through them. I thought this would be awesome. That's just me. And my minder is a little Paris needle minder from No Name Needle Minders. Then the second start that I will have for Wednesday. See, it hasn't changed that I need to close everything up while I'm going with you guys. The second start that I will have for Wednesday is going to be the Spring Baby Girl Sunshine line from Brooks Books. Like I said, I have 2 gifts. This is one of them for my soon-to-be-born niece. And my minder is a little pink crown needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. And it's just done on perforated paper. So, that I fill out here. Perforated paper. But I thought that was really cute. And my sister-in-law likes things that are handmade, so that's the plan. And Kelly, if you watch this, yes, you know it now, but oh well. Okay. I don't think she'll watch it. Then on the 4th is a Princess Stitch Along Day. And the theme this month is your favorite princess. Mine is Belle from Beauty and the Beast. So I'm going to start Beauty and the Beast 2017 from Tilton Crafts. A bit closer there. And I am going to be doing this on 32 count white Jobelin 1/1 full cross. So it's going to be much smaller because it's 1/1. And my minder is Pinup Belle from Gina's Unique Boutique. I said Nifty Needle Nannies. It's Gina's Unique Boutique. Then on the 5th will be another double up day because I'm me. The 5th is Halloween all year round. The January theme is pumpkins. So I'll have 2 starts. The first one is going to be Annie the Autumn Witch from Brooks Books. She's got a pumpkin in her basket. And that's just done on perforated paper. And then the other one that I'm going to start on the 5th is an electronic pattern. It's the Another Year Creeps By Stitch Along from Stitchy Box. And I'm going to be doing it on 32 Belfast and Dreamsicle from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's a Halloween all year long piece. There's pumpkins in it. And if not, I think there's pumpkins in the border. But Halloween, it fits. And my minder is the Pretty Needle minder that was in the Halloween Stitchy Box countdown box from this past year. Which also felt appropriate because it's a Stitchy Box piece. I did get the thread pack for it. So here's the thread pack. It's got, I pulled this stuff out. At the bottom here is the House of Embroidery silks that go along with it. So I did get the whole thread pack. I figured it was easier, and I am doing it all as one piece instead of the 12 individual pieces. So I have the border and all that to do too. Then on the 6th is a 50 Nifty United States Day, and the theme for January is your home state, Texas. So I am doing God Bless Texas from My Big Toe Designs. And I'm just going to be doing it on 32 count linen in clay that I got from 123 Stitch. So I think it's Witchelled. It could be Zweigert. I don't remember. And then my minder is a Texas needle minder from No Name Needle Minders. Then on the 7th, to close out my year of starts plans for the week, is Christmas All Year Round Stitch Along. The January theme is Santa Claus. Do I have Santas to use? I think I do. I'm going to start the Arctic Santa that Sandra Kozlina made for Wilmer Crafts. And my minder's a little blingy needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. So that is my year of starts plans. Yay! Then this week we have a 1-day stitch along, which is on the 5th. It is full coverage on the 5th, going through again this year. I'm going to do, for January, I'm going to do Beauty and the Beast, Falling in Love by Thomas Kincaid. I think there might be like a little bit that's not stitched in this, but it's full coverage enough for me. And here is where I am on it at this point. And my minder is a Belle needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. I love this piece. But it's got a lot of colors and is a little bit finicky. That's okay. Then let's see here. Like I mentioned, here I'll show you guys. The temperature stitch along, I am starting tomorrow. I'm going to be doing it 1/1 on 32 count white Jobelin. Cut it in half, do one on each side. My minder is pretty blue blingy needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. I may not cut it in half. I may just use it as it is and measure it out. But I'll be doing it with a high temperature and a low temperature and go from there. For a high temperature version and a low temperature version. That'll be started tomorrow. And then my year of start, or my 1 stitch a day, is going to be, I'm just doing it on some embroidery fabric that I got instead of on my standard fabrics that I use, so that you can do a little bit more free form with it. It says ideal for embroidery. And I have I Am a Grim needle minder from Delicious Threads. Then, let's see here. For the Jane Austen stitch along, the first piece I'm going to do is actually one that I'm incorporating into my 100 finishes in a year. So I'll get to that when I get down there. For Heart Drops, I pulled out the plastic canvas that I had in my stash already. And I went through my threads and I pulled out Karen Waterlily's Havana, which is stunning, and I got from a Stitchy box, and it was amusing because PayPal got concerned when I was ordering just Havana that it was somehow related to Cuba. It was funny. So what I decided to do is I am going to stitch hearts until this skein is completely used up. The colors are gorgeous. It's an excuse to use this floss that I bought because it's pretty. I have lots of flosses in my stash that are because they're pretty. And I figure, you know, if I can do one of these a day, I'll definitely get 100 finishes because there's more than 100 days in the year. But they'll also be a good way to use up these beautiful skeins of thread and help make some people smile out in the world. So that's the plan. Havana for now. After Havana is done, we'll see what I use next. All right, whips for the week. There's a bunch. All right, so for today, the first whip is technically not one I started on January 1st, but I work on it on the 1st of every month because it is the Sarah Davis Clonmel 1824 Reproduction Sampler Sal from Stitchy Box that is going through, I want to say July of this year. So I am doing this on 32 Murano and Lightning Storm from Jottery, and I'm using the called for NPI silks. So I'll work on this a little bit today for this month's update. And my minder's a Crown Needle Minder from No Name Needle Minders. This is the only one that's a random whip that I do on the 1st regardless. I did have 3 old starts from the 1st, or 3 whips for the 1st. So the first one is my Tuscany Town Mandala from Chatelaine, which I started in 2016. And I am doing this on 32 Lugana and Chime from Picture This Plus. And here is where I am at this point. And my minder is a little needle minder from Minding My Minders. So I'll work on this a little bit today. How long I will work on each whip, I don't know. Minimum of 15 minutes. Actually, I'll probably do a minimum of 18 minutes because it's 2018. Some days I may do more than others depending on, I've got a lot to do today, so I may not do more than 18 minutes, but some pieces, some days I will. Then the next one, it's one I really do want to finish, but I've got a ways to go. It is the Birthstone Dragons stitch along from Ingleside Imaginarium. I kind of tapped out after June, so I need to get back on board with this. I love this piece. It is heavy, but it is beautiful, and I love it. And I am doing this on 32 Joblin and Vineyard from Under the Sea Fabrics. And there's my Dragon Needle Minder rack. So I've got January, February, March, April, May, and June done. So I'll start on the border for maybe the rest of the year. I'll figure it out. Because I do love this piece. And I've got all the beads to add to it. It was fun showing this piece off at the gathering in October. Then I have one other start, or one other whip, from 2017. I don't have a picture for it, but it's the Wherefore Art Thou stitch along, mystery stitch along from Nora Corbett. You know, it's the one, it's the Juliet, but there's no a full picture of it anywhere on the pieces. I barely got started on it last year. It looks like I started it with 1/1 skin, or no, maybe not. That's not skin. That's something else. So did not get far on it, but this is being done on 32 Joblin and Vampiric from Under the Sea Fabrics, and I have a little Romeo and Juliet needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So that's today. On the 2nd, I have 2 whips that have birthdays. The first is my wedding sampler from Carolyn Manning that, yes, I was going to try to finish last year. Didn't happen. And I am doing this one on, and I started in 2013 again. So here it is on 14 count Ada in Crystal Fresco from Picture This Plus. So I am on it so far. Just got the other side of the border left to do. And my minder is Come What May and Love It from No Name Needle Minders, because Come What May was the song my husband and I danced to. And then my other start that I have is from 2016. Sorry, gotta reach for this stuff over here. Even though I'm not showing off like what I did last week and stuff, I still have a big pile over here. It's the Miss New Year's Fairy from Mirabilia. And I am doing her on 32 Joblin in Hocus Pocus from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Let's see. I just need to cut the fabric a bit because it's only on half of it. And I can't fold. That's what happens when I haven't done videos in a while. Here's where we are at this point on her. So we'll get started on her dress. And I have a Happy New Year needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then on to the 3rd, I have 3. First one is from 2016. It was my Dove Santa from Sandra Cozzolino from Mill Hill. And here's where he is at this point. Got a little heart needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. Then the next one is, the other 2 are from 2017. We've got Be Merry from Mill Hill. Here's where I am on it at this point. And then stuffed in there. Then the other one is also from 2017. It is the Under the Sea Stitch Along from Doreen Jones for Lakeside Needlecraft. It's an electronic pattern. I'll put a link to it below. Here's where I am on it at this point. I did not keep up with this last year. And I am using flosses from Jottery Designs in here, so it's all different. And then my minder is a beautiful Starfish needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. The fabric is 32 count even weave in Under the Sea by Fabric Flare, which is only available through Lakeside Needlecraft. Then on the 4th, I have 2. The first one is one of those that's the bane of my existence. It started in 2013. It is Tuscan Greeting from Dimensions. The reason it's a bane of my existence is because I screwed up somewhere along the top and I have to fudge it every time I work on it. That's okay. Here's where I am at this point. My minder is a cute little crown needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. Then the other one I started last year. Feels weird to say last year, I mean 2017. It is the Captain Santa by Sandra Cozzolino from Mill Hill. And here is where I am on it at this point. Got a hooked needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. I have been disappointed in this season of Once Upon a Time. Have not enjoyed it as much. On the 5th, I have 3. The first is Oh My God, So Much Krynic, aka Angel of Compassion from Heaven and Earth Designs. And it is being done on 18 count off-white Ada. And here's Oh My God, So Much Krynic. Krynic, sparkle, 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 sparkle. And my minder is a little baby weeping angel needle minder from minding my minders. Then the next one was a 2016 start, which is an electronic pattern. It's the 12 Days of Christmas by Satsuma Street, and I'll put a link to it below. And I am doing it on 32 Joblin in Spring Grass from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. I'm doing it all as one piece. So I've been working on the borders when I've been working on it. And my minder's a Grinch needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. And then the last one is one I started last year. As you can hear, it's the Gingerbread Village from Country Cottage Needleworks, which I'm doing all as one piece, but I'll be working on the first house. And I am doing this on 32 Joblin in Toasted Almond from Hand-Dyed Fabrics by Stephanie. Here's where I am on it at this point. I had started 1 and 2 because I was going to start them all for the year starts, and that just didn't happen. My minder is the little Christmas tree is from Nifty Needle Nannies, and this little box is holding my buttons, and that is from No Name Needle Minders. You can hear it, the buttons in there. Then on the 6th, I have 3. Good thing is not every month is this crazy. January has a lot of starts, or a lot of whips. All right. First one's from 2013. It is the Angel or the American Flag Quilt Sampler by Rosewood Manor, a crowd favorite. And it's being done on a 28 count off white even weave. And here's where I am. It's more like a clayish almost even weave, but here's where I am at this point. And my minder is a little heart needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. Then the next one I started in 2016 from the Fairy Enchantment book by Joan Elliott. It is Fairy Queen, which is this one right here. And I am doing this one on 32 Belfast in Dappled Hollow from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I don't think I've worked on it since I started it, so there we go. And my minder is from Nifty Needle Nannies. So, pretty fabric. I love the fabric. And then my other start, or my other whip rather, on the 6th is my Tropical Island Santa by Sandra Cozzolino from Mill Hill. I started this last year. And here is where we are at this point. I have a little M&M needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. And then on the 7th, I have 2. I'm just going to grab all these so they're all on my lap. A little bit easier that way. The first is A Mother's Love from Lila's Studio. And I am doing, and this is from 2016, I am doing this on 40 count white Newcastle linen. And here's where I am on it at this point. And my minder says, Every Mother is a Working Mother from No Name Needle Minders. And then my last whip is from last year. It is in the 2013 Just Cross Stitch Ornament issue. And it is Ethereal Illumination number 2. This one right here. And I am just doing it on 28 count white even weave. And here's where I am on it at this point. My minder's just a little dot needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. So those are my whips. Yay! I know, it's a lot. We're doing a lot of stitching this week, which, considering I haven't stitched all in a month, maybe even longer, not a bad thing. All right, 100 finishes in 2018. I had to go back and watch my, excuse me, my 2017 whip video that I posted about a week ago, so I could see, oh, I'm pretty close to finishing that one. First one, though, is the one that I am stitching, also in association with the Jane Austen Stitch Along. It is an electronic pattern. I'll put a link to it below, but it is Sense and Sensibility from Fangirl Stitches, which I thought was appropriate since we're reading Sense and Sensibility. And here's where I am on it at this point. So it's not hugely far along, but this is a very small pattern. And my minder says, "It isn't what we say or think that defines us, but what we do," which is a quote from Sense and Sensibility. And this is being done on 32 Belfast in Whimsical from Picture This Plus, and the minders from Minding My Minders. So I will keep working on this until it is done. The other 4 that I'm going to show you guys, if I get to them this week, great. If I don't, they will keep staying in the rotation. We will see. First one is Blue Sneaker by Mill Hill. And here's where I am on it at this point. Don't have a whole lot left to go on that one. Excuse me. This weather, it's been like in the teens here, which is weird for Texas. Then the other one, or the next one, is Caramel Apple from Mill Hill. And here is where I am on that one at this point. Get the little thread that I was working on back there. Like I said, my goal is 100 finishes. If I include all of the heart drops, that won't be an issue. But I'm going to try to actually get 100 finishes besides the heart drops. Still doing the heart drops, but. Then the next one is from the Just Cross Stitch 2011 ornament issue. And it is Christmas Favorites, which is this one right here, which is a Prairie Schooler design. And I am doing it on 32 count natural linen. And my minder's a little heart needle minder from Nifty Needle Nannies. And then the last one on this list for now is from Just Cross Stitch 2009 ornament issue. And it is this one down here. It's Cross of Christmas. And I am doing that one on a 32 Lugana Opal, or Opal Lugana Jewel from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's really only 2 colors. It's not going to take long. And my minder is a cute little crystal needle minder from Brenda's Minders and More. And then my gifts update. One I will start this week. It's the spring baby girl line. The other one that I am doing is the Just Married Sunshine line from Brooks Books. And it's being done on perforated paper. It's barely started, but here we go. There's like 12 strands of white. Woo! And then my minder is, I believe this is from Brenda's Minders and More. So yeah, way to start 2018 off with a bang, right? I've got a lot that I'm gonna do. All right, so stash acquisitions are gonna start next week again, as I have them. It will, like I said, I'm still in my Fabric of the Month clubs. I'm still in Stitchy Box. I am still, I canceled one thread of the month because I ended up with the whole series and I didn't need to keep getting them anymore. The other one that I'm starting is the House of Embroidery Silks from Stitchy Box. So that's starting. But I enrolled in that before the start of this year. So giveaway. The lovely people at Down Sunshine Lane contacted me a while ago asking me if I was willing to do a giveaway for them on my channel. And I said, sure, of course, I'm happy to. And then life got in the way and I was not able to do what I told them I was going to do. So I apologize sincerely that that did not happen. But I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minders. Put them all on one thing that I'm going to give away. And I'm going to do them. Am I going to do them as 7? Sure, why not? I'm going to do them as 7 different giveaways. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I love the clay ones. They're all a great selection that she picked out to send from down Sunshine Lane. So rules for entry. Go ahead, and if you are interested in getting one of these minders, put a comment below indicating which minder you like. We've got Pumpkin Face 1, Pumpkin Face 2 with the bow, a thread bobbin, the pumpkin cart, the flower, the fleur-de-lis, or the sand dollar. That's kind of what it looks like. Star 1. Comment below which one you want. I'm not going to give the results next week. Let's give it, I'll say we'll do it by the end of the month. My last update for January, I will respond with the giveaway results. So comment below which one you want. I will do a random draw of who, based on which ones you choose. You can enter more than one, but we'll give away all 7 and we'll see who wins. Okay. Anyway, other than that, I think that's about it from me. I will be back next week. We'll put all sorts of different links and stuff below. If you have questions, feel free to ask them. I hope everyone's 2017 starts off wonderfully. I hope you guys get lots of stitching time in, and I will see you next time.